How many people actually believe there's a scam? So we 50-50, so that's good. It's a good mix, huh? Yeah. So, but like, you know, it's just, most people don't seem to believe that the people can be conned in any major way by these people, especially through legislation, because legislation is the law. And that's where it's at. So we're going to go through the legislation, we're going to actually read the law, we're going to examine it, and then we're going to see what you actually think. Does it make sense? Because genuinely, an 8-year-old can actually see it when you actually take away all the smoke and mirrors. When you actually make sense of it, it's crystal clear. So we don't need to worry about, there's no forensics needed in this room to get through this, okay? So we'll jump in. This is what we want to show you first as well. This is a HC12N form. That's it. Okay. We were fascinated by this form because we could never find out where it came from. So it just appeared. And we could never understand what the actual purpose of it was. And probably 25 of the 111 questions in the original letter would have been in relation to this particular form. Now that's the form when it's opened out. So you can see the pages. You can see how much information is required on this particular page, you can see how much information is required on this page, and you can see how much information is on this page. Now this page here is the middle page, it's the payment page. Alright? Now the back of this document then, you've got 3 more pages. You can see how much text is here, you can see how much information is required here, and then we have a white blank page in the middle of this. So, you see, we work in an awful lot of financial matters, and we would be very much aware of the Bills of Exchange Act and everything that goes with it. And the minute I saw this form, I recognised it as a financial instrument as opposed to a form to help people pay a household charge. So you see, this form is designed that this page here, the 2 outside pages, it's actually perforated and they can just tear away. And then you're left with your promise to pay. This is actually known as a promise to pay, or a financial instrument. So when you turn around the back of that financial instrument now, the back of it is white. Now let's just look at this as a design issue. If all of this room was a committee, and we were all commissioned with producing this document, and then we're here presenting the document to you today, and we're relying on you people liking it and paying us for it, would you be happy with the document with a white page in the middle? And all of this text, you see how small it is? Front and back of that. Would you not ask a logical question as to why did we not spread some of the text onto that page that was not on, to make it easier for people to read? Is that just not a logical thing to say? And then why is the page not green, the same colour as the rest of the form? So you'd be forgiven for digging your heels in on that, and we would have to go away and rectify that situation. Is that true? Yeah. Right, well that's just an observation on the form. Now, everybody in this room will have been to a bank, and you will have presented a cheque to get it cashed. And what's the first thing they'll ask you to do in the bank when you present a cheque? Sign it. So you endorse the back of it. Now do you understand why the back of this could be white?
Yeah.
Okay? So basically what you have is you have a promise to pay, and you have the back of it is blank. So what you've got is a situation where, now we are not saying for a minute, lads, that the Irish government have securitised any of these. But we are saying that this form is specifically designed so somebody could. Okay? So I'm just curious as to why it was designed in that way. And
can I ask you, can you explain securitisation?
That's what we'll just go into. Securitisation, just simply, lads, the bottom rung of the securitisation ladder would mean that these people, 1.2 million people signed this form and filled it in. And you have 1.2 million promises to pay. So 1.2 million promises to pay by 100 is 120 million. Okay? So you have 120 million. You can actually bundle all of those central pages together. You can put a big elastic band around and put them into a box known as a tranche in this game, and you can securitize it. Now, if you securitized those documents, you could actually have a potential value of 1.2 billion. Now, we all are aware at the minute that the Irish government are going back into the bond markets and they're issuing bonds. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So we all know what a bond is. Well, a bond is no different than a box of these things. Securitized, and if that was a 10-year bond, that 10-year bond is worth 12 billion euro. Do you understand that? 1.2 for 1 year by 10 is 12 billion. But that's what that document is capable of raising on the back of your promise to pay. Now, nobody informed anybody of that. Is that fair to say? Nobody is aware of that. So that's just one of these little things that we would be curious about this form. Now, the form isn't a scam, okay? That's just something interesting along the way to the scam. And we just want to show you some issues as we go along. Right, we jump in. Now, this is the little bit that's only about 3 minutes of this, lads, and we're going to read the law, and some people just don't like even seeing this. But if you bear with us, we'll get through it. This is the Household Charge Act of 2011. Now that's available on our website, and if you think we might have altered the document, you can go to irishstatutebooks.ie and you can download it there. And that way you will get the true version of the scam. And now, this document is about 35 pages, and it's not that heavy reading really. When you get used to reading it, it'll take you a couple of pages and eventually you'll get a rhythm going and you'll fly through it then. But, so that's the front page of this document. Now, the summons, I'm not going to stay delaying you. I could go back to the summons and enlarge it and show you that the man was summoned under Section 5 of the Household Charge Act. So this is Section 5 in the red box. Great colour in this. Now we're going to zoom in on that. Section 5 is where the owner of a residential property must make a declaration. Okay? So we're going to zoom in on the box. It says, Section 5.1, the owner of a residential property who on a liability date is liable to pay a household charge to a relevant local authority or is entitled to a waiver from payment of a household charge under subsection 4 of Section 4 in respect of the year in which that liability date falls, shall make and provide to the relevant local authority a declaration stating that he or she is so liable or so entitled as the case may be.